task nonetheless, and acknowledge the members who are here. I doubt because of time whether all of them will speak, so I will pick one or two. Maybe you just stand up again. Honorable Dr. Christine Ombaka from Siaya. Honorable Martin Owino, Ward Chief, who is also a member of this church. I know because I'm a member of this church as well. Honorable Professor Jacqueline Oduol, former Member of Parliament and CC Siaya. Honorable Martha Wangari from Nakuru County, a member of Gilgil. Honorable Naisula Lesuda, Member of Parliament, Samburu West. Honorable Fatuma Mohammed, Member of Parliament, Migori County. Senator, I know you will introduce them, but because of a women agenda, I will introduce the women senators. Senator Professor Margaret Kamar. Senator Beth Siengo. Honorable Dr. Eve Obara. Honorable Esther Passaris. The men in the Senate, Honorable Moses, will deal with you. Let me just take this opportunity because of time to thank the Speaker of the National Assembly for the support that he has given. I want to thank the members of the National Assembly also for the support, and especially the Kenya Women Parliamentary Association, KEWOPA. And some of the women who have come here have said specifically because something major happened in 1997, that the first affirmative action motion was brought in Parliament by Honorable Phoebe Asiyo. So many of us are here courtesy of Honorable Phoebe Asiyo, because we were first nominated, many of us, before we are elected. And I also want to recognize a very special category of women who are here. This is the women's movement. And the women's movement at Sango, I hadn't seen you. I'm very happy to see you. The women's movement who are here, from Gen Z or Gen Alpha to, I was told, I don't know what the generation of Mama Phoebe is, but I got it right in the writing. Can we please just stand up? Whether you are a member of Parliament or just the women's movement, please stand. I know there are men who are standing, they love the women's movement. But this is part of the women's movement. And the women's movement are women who have worked. Honorable Mbarire, stop disowning us. Honorable Wanga, stop disowning us. You are part of the women's movement. And even First Lady, even Maendeleo. This is part of it, even Honorable Zipora. Yes, I can see you. I just wanted to explain that the women's movement are women who have worked over the years to ensure that there is gender equality and there is gender equity. You may have a seat. We've actually had, we had an opportunity for some of us, not all of us. We've actually had various celebrations. There was one in Homa Bay that was led by Maendeleo. Then we also had another one in Kisumu. We had one in Nairobi that had our seniors, some of whom are here today, and some of them have sent apologies, including Honorable Martha Karua and our retired lady justices. I can't mention all of them, but they've said they are with us. Some of them will be able to come to the home, and some will not be able, but they all give their greetings and they recognize the work that Honorable Phoebe Asiyo has done. She did an amazing thing. We all get so busy that we never get together as the women's movement. So Honorable Phoebe Asiyo brought us across party lines. She brought us across ethnic lines, and she brought us across age lines. And we had a beautiful, powerful event at her granddaughter Kinyi's place. And it was, you just don't know what your Dani did by bringing us all back together, and something new and wonderful has been formed. I recognize the presence of Honorable Dr. Joyce Bensouda Osogo, Woman Representative Homa Bay County. I don't want to take time. I just want to conclude by saying that I was not just going to recognize, but I also, as the daughter was telling us yesterday, each one of us thinks that we know Mama, or that we were all very special to her. And I felt that I was the most special person to her. Honorable Dr. Julia Ojiambo, I've just seen you, recognize you, thank you. And I just want to say that Mama influenced me in a very powerful way when I was in class 7. And she was going through elections. For those of us who are younger, may not understand, because women have stood here in parliament. That time there were less than 6 women in parliament. And when Honorable Phoebe was vying, and I was a little girl in class 7, I was so amazed, and she was fighting against a very, very powerful politician. There is no politician that is as powerful as Okiki was then. And I was just amazed. I was like, wow. And at my age, I ran away from home and sat in a hall until morning, until her results were declared. And I started toying with the idea of being a member of parliament when I was in class 7 because of Phoebe. But because I was born in this church, the Seventh-day Adventist church, and they didn't tell me directly, but through the teaching, we kind of thought that being in politics is a sinful thing. So I left my decision. It pended for very long, but Honorable Phoebe didn't let me be. She continued pestering me to vie, and I continued refusing. And finally, when I did vie, many of you do not know this, but Phoebe was the first woman to be elected in Homa Bay County, the 3rd in the whole of Nyanza. I think the first 7th or so in the nation. But I was the 2nd to be elected in Homa Bay County after Honorable Phoebe, and it took 16 years. It took 16 years for me to be elected after Honorable Phoebe. And because she pestered, and the other women will tell you here, she used to pester us to be elected. You refuse, and I tell her, I can't vie in Homa Bay because Honorable Tieno Kajwang was then the MP, is my relative. And she tell me, Honorable Kiki was my relative. It's not about hatred. It's about power and inclusion. But I refused. But in the end, when I came, thank goodness, Honorable Tieno was not vying against me. Secondly, the other thing that I want to say is that she also employed my mother in Child Welfare Society of Kenya. I don't know if Child Welfare will get a chance, but she employed my mother. So anybody who loves my mother has a soft spot in my heart. And so she's always had I've had a soft spot for her because of that. She empowered my mother. Finally, I just want to say that many of us do not know the power that Honorable Phoebe had. She wasn't a bad girl like me. You know, she wasn't loud, she wasn't forceful, but she had power and she had force. We don't all have to be like her, but she has given us something to think about. She has given us something to write about, and she's given us something to emulate. We honor her, we love her, we cherish her, and for the family, know that you've given us somebody so precious as the women of this country. We love her, and we love you because of her. God bless you, and may she rest easy, and we will meet her at the resurrection. Thank you. It is then, of course, my pleasure to invite Senator Moses Kajwang. And even as Senator is coming, Moses, please come. I just want to let you know that we are happy that now we can invite the male senators. Those days there would just be one woman. Isn't it amazing?
Thank you, Honorable Millie Odhiambo. To the church, to the family of Mama Asiyo, I stand before you to once again convey my condolences. We have been together since we got the news. We have been together at home in Wikondiek. We were together last night at the old sanctuary, and we shall not tire. We will be with you up to the point where we are praying for Mama at home. For the record, I'm also a member of this church, even though the only time I get an opportunity to stand here is when there's a funeral. Otherwise, the rest of the days I sit up there in the balcony, because Pastor Misiani has been very, very clear on the separation of church and state, church and politics. So I welcome you to this church. It is a church that has mentored and grown a lot of people who have gone ahead to do great things in this republic. The story of Mama Phoebe is a story of our nation. If you listen carefully to her achievements, it encompasses the development and growth of various sectors in this country, be it education, be it religion. She was the daughter of a pioneer Adventist pastor. Be it politics, she was a pioneer politician. Be it women empowerment, be it the rights of children, be it women empowerment. When you read Mama Phoebe's story, you will know and you'll understand the story of our nation. In fact, in a big way, even the redefinition of the Luo culture, Mama Phoebe played a very big role. In her book, It Is Possible, there is a passage where she tells a story when she was 13 years old, and she was due for the Luo practice of extraction of the lower teeth. We call it nago. She was due to be, to be nagwad. And she presented herself in her own account. She was given a concoction. She was told, don't swallow it. Just swallow it in the mouth. And she was ready. And when the nagist was about to nago her, one of the uncles came and thrashed her and whipped her with that thing we call bokarao and carried her off. And that is how Mama Phoebe managed to keep her lower teeth. Many girls of a generation were not able to keep their lower teeth. In fact, that is why the Luos usually struggle with Sha and Sa. That one of health, we call it Sa, because our teeth have been extracted as part of that. In the book, It Is Possible, Mama tells us that a girl can rise, a girl who's been educated, a girl who's been given equal opportunities as men, can be better than men. In a book, she tells us that she was made a head girl, but because she was a girl, she could not take up the position of head girl. How sad and unfortunate it was, but things have changed today. In fact, due to Mama Phoebe's efforts, trailblazing and pioneering efforts, she just did not walk. She didn't walk the talk or talk the walk. She just did not talk. I mean, look at Homa Bay County, the county that I'm so proud to represent, the county of these great people. Today, out of 12 leaders, because we have 8 MPs, we have a senator, we have a woman rep, we have a governor, and we've got the nominated Senator Beatrice Ogola. Out of 12 apex political leadership in Homa Bay, 6 are women and 6 are men. Tell me which other county can boast of that. Tell me which other county. Mama Phoebe, she just didn't talk. Things were happening because of her inspiration. Now, for the men, the 6 women who are at the apex of leadership in Homa Bay County, when you put together the degrees and the academic qualifications, they far outstrip the combined degrees of the 6 men. So there is also a danger that is creeping in. And our only comeback with the ward chief is that whereas the women have kichwa moja degree tatu, the men can be kichwa moja bibi tatu. So that's where we find the equilibrium. But Phoebe, that is why I'm kept at the balcony. I'm usually not allowed to come here. Let me conclude by saying that the Phoebe I knew was very different from the Phoebe who contested in 1979, because she was graceful. She was grace personified. I mean, she spoke quietly. She made it possible that you could rebuke people without shouting. You could correct without shouting. And you could impact without being bad. The Phoebe I knew was a friend and age mate of my father. Both of them born in 1932. Both of them born to pioneering Adventist pastors. They met at Kamagambo. My father went to Kamagambo in around 1947. Phoebe was denied the opportunity to study mathematics because girls were not allowed to study mathematics. My father was allowed to study mathematics. He ended up being a mathematics teacher. After they left Kamagambo, Phoebe was called to Alliance. And she couldn't go to Alliance, she was hard. That was the development of pray for Mama. Let us allow the church to do that which Mama wished or to have done. But let us also go back to this family and ensure that the Wikondiek SDA church that Mama loved so much can be completed, and that all the things that Mama had aspired to can be seen to fruition. The senator from Nairobi, Edwin Sifuna, is here, and other senators who had already been introduced because Millie decided to deal with the ladies and not the men. And I think that's the marginalization that we need to discuss afterwards. Senator Professor Kamar was in the house. Senator Professor Kamar, I know you have a lot of things to say about Mama, but perhaps time will not allow us. Senator Beatrice Ogola. Senator Beatrice Ogola. We were together in the Senate, and she was making her way here. I think she'll be here in a short while. Was there any other senator in the House? Senator Betsiengo, the leader of women in the big party called ODM. But because your Secretary General is here today, he might be the one to speak on behalf of the ODM party. Then Senator Edwin Sifuna, we thank you. Last night you sent us your contribution of a significant amount of money that was handed over to the funeral committee. I will allow you to come and address the mourners.
Thank you, Honorable Kajwang. Praise God, Church. Praise God, Church. You are not used to me saying these things. To the family of Mama Asiyo, led by my brother Caesar, and my sister Adis, to the leadership of the church that is present here, including Elder Kawino. Those who do not know Elder Kawino is the one in charge of the finances of that political party called ODM. And I want to advise other parties that if you want a person to look after the resources of the party, you should get an elder from the SDA church, because for all the years that ODM has been in existence, and because we are publicly financed, We have never had an audit query. We have received clean audits by the Auditor General's office because of this gentleman here. So I am very serious when I say, get someone from the SDA church, preferably an elder, to look after your finances. I am here in my capacity as a senator for Nairobi, as SG of ODM, as a deputy whip of the minority, my brother Caesar, to say pole on behalf of the entire party, the leadership of the party, some of whom have reached out directly to you. Caesar and Adis are amongst the people who can say they knew Sifuna before the rest of you knew Sifuna. These are people who can testify to where I have come from in my journey. I consider you and your entire family as my friends, and following the demise of Mama, I say that I have to come and say pole. I may not be able to join you on Saturday, but I want you to know that we are together. I will leave this service, I think the right word to use is incited by the life of Mama. I have read through this beautiful eulogy of hers about the story of her life. And it has reminded me of the things that we are having conversations about even today, about the centrality of values in every discourse, and that you can never, ever compromise your values. She has taught me to challenge established norms. She was a challenger of established norms about the place of women. If you go to page 2 here, and the Senator for Homa Bay has alluded to it, that in fact during her time, women were not allowed to study math and English. There is no non-justification for that. But she challenged these established norms about the place of women, about the place of the youth. We are having a conversation in this country, and I remember even growing up, that when young people spoke, most of the time it was interpreted as disrespect. Our own mothers, you know, our generation have seen these things. We were taught by our fathers that the place of women was in the kitchen. It was our fathers who taught us these things. But Mama Asiyo is teaching us that in fact if you give women the opportunity to be also in the living room and in those decision rooms, a lot of progress can be achieved. If you ask the women here, who is the biggest impediment to the progress of women, what will they say? Say it loudly so that the men are the biggest impediment to the growth of women and the women's movement. Isn't that so? I am very proud as SG of ODM, my leader, the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, has taught us that men have only 2 options when it comes to women's progress in this country. You either support the women's movement or get out of their way. It is that simple. They will take care of themselves. So, if you look at all these beautiful women seated here and powerful women seated here, we have taken deliberate action as a party. Millie Odhiambo, you can bear me witness that all of you in the 2022 elections were handed direct tickets. And I remember men who used to come to my office saying, oh, Sifuna, I want to run in Suba North. I'm like, but bro, you are a man. There is no way the party is subjecting Millie Odhiambo to primaries against a man. If you want to run in Mbita, in her constituency, can you please be of the same gender so that we can subject you? Because there's a reason, and Honorable Kawino is here, we want to grow the numbers of women leadership in these constituencies. And because the president of the Women League is here, she will tell you that another deliberate step that we took in the last election, because there are many obstacles that are placed in the path of women leadership, including the cost and violence that you have seen here, Mama Asiyo herself faced. We took the deliberate action to make sure that we will find money to pay for the nomination fees and the party life membership certificate for every woman who was running in a single constituency. And I know all of this because ODM has a program called He for She, that the women will not succeed if the men don't get out of their way or don't make deliberate action to support them. The patron of He for She in ODM is yours truly, Edwin Sifuna. Let me conclude. Let me conclude by saying that I have also been very incited by the story that was told by Mama Zipporah Kitoni. I was very happy to hear that at some point Mama Asiyo threatened to resign because things were not going the way that she thought they should go. Munanielewa? Munanielewa? Saa ile mambo inaenda mbaya. You have a responsibility to put down your foot and say, this is not who we are. This is not what we stand for. These are not our values. I have been extremely motivated, Caesar, by the story of your late mother. And I was struggling here to find words of my own to describe the times that we live in. But I found a very powerful quote, a very powerful quote on the very first page of this eulogy. And with your permission, Caesar, I want to steal your mom's words and make them my own. That I believe that my future is now and that I am doing what I would have done in any lifetime. May the soul of this very great woman rest in eternal peace. God bless you.
Thank you, Senator Sifuna. You may have noticed that I stood immediately to ensure that he didn't resign at that point when he was trying to go towards that direction. He's a friend of mine, but if he was a sports ball, it would be a rugby ball because you'd never know where it bounces next. There are two people, and if you allow me, Maurice, who really we cannot eulogize Mama, and I believe that is what Honorable Millie is doing, Dr. Eve and Dr. Joyce Osogo Bensouda. You may want to grant them the opportunity. Thank you.
You have just made my life even more complicated. But as I was coming here, Honorable Dr. Eve has told me that I need to clarify what SG has said. And I know why she's saying that, because it's not easy getting elected in a competitive male-female seat. And she's told me to clarify that that was done in this past election. I'm doing my 4th term. So I didn't get any direct nomination in my first 2 terms. And secondly, that it was after a poll was done that proved that we were leading. Hapo nime clarify. And my apologies, church. We have come very close to speaking politics. I know my church is very clear about politics and godly things. Let me take this opportunity to invite Honorable Dr. Eve Obara. Other than being a member of parliament, Eve was very close to Mama Phoebe Asiyo. And she also represents Nyinam. And as she's coming, my apologies, I didn't recognize Honorable Rosa Buyu, the Member of Parliament for Kisumu West. Welcome, Dr. Buyu. Hey, I've given you doctor.
Thank you. Thank you, Mheshimiwa Millie. I didn't know you were going to call me right away, but I had to respond through you to the SG about the direct tickets. And thank you very much for clarifying that polls were conducted with all the candidates, including men, and the women who got more than 50% were given the tickets. So that we have to be very clear. And it was the first time that women were given direct tickets. The first time. Because the first time we were not given direct tickets. So don't leave here thinking that you were issued, given a token. It was not a token. Thank you very much, SD. Thank you. So God is good. And all the time, thank you very much. First and foremost, we are here to celebrate a great woman, an amazing woman. My mother, that's what I called her, Mama. my mentor. A lot has been said of what she was. A woman of many fasts, so I don't really have to go through that again. Let me focus on the question that was raised here. What will people say about you? What will I say about Mama Phoebe? And then also talk about what Millie said, that she was a powerful woman. Powerful woman. Soft power. Soft power. Not jumping on stage, not shouting. She was soft-spoken, but her words sank. And that is what I wanted to be like, even as I got into politics. That I wanted to be like her. And I think I kind of closed, not her power, but soft-spoken, but let your words sink and make your point without necessarily shouting about it. 2, what can I say about her? 2, her dressing. She told us, when you step out of your house, make sure you are properly groomed as a woman. And so we tried. I think you can give me 50%. So we tried. And you can see what I'm wearing here is a symbol of Nyanam. Nyanam. You're either born there or married there. I can see Betty Orengo also is a Nyanam. She's married there. That is Mama Phoebe Asiyo. What else did we learn from her? She taught us, and you learned, not even that it was a school, but you just watched, and you couldn't, you know what you're supposed to do. What else? As a woman, your house should always have food. Food, basics that many of us miss. They were basics. Food, and if you went to Mama Asiyo's house, and those of you who were there many times, know that the table was always laid out with all manner of food. Aluru, alia, name it, traditional. Do we know how to make the traditional food? We learned a lot from her. And finally, so that Millie is standing here, Millie, I'm just celebrating Mama. Millie, we were the Gen Zs of those yesteryears. We were once upon a time also Gen Zs. But did we throw Mama away and tell her to go to Wikondiek and rest? We are now going to take over? No, never. We walked alongside her. We walked behind her, and we walked alongside her, and then she allowed us to walk ahead of her. That's what she did. Gen Zs, that's what she did. So let's walk together. This country belongs to all of us. Let's walk together. At some point, we'll allow you to walk ahead of us as we sit behind and watch you lead. And that is how life is. So as we sit here today, we remember Mama fondly. And remember that Mama left. And I said yesterday, Mama was a constant in our lives. And at the time she was leaving, she left initially without even us realizing. Because she disappeared, because she was away in the US for almost 3 years. But she was there, and we knew Mama is there. We, almost believing that she was immortal. Until Mama wasn't there, Mama was sick. And the next thing, Mama was gone. wasn't it a beautiful life? To the family, you had a great mother. Thank you for allowing us to share part of her with you. She made us who we are, and I will forever be grateful. May the good Lord rest her soul in eternal peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Dr. Eve Obara. And I'm happy that you have said you can retire from work, but you can never retire from a cause. Mama lived the cause until her death. Let me invite Honorable Dr. Joyce Bensouda, and please come together with Honorable Esther Passaris and Honorable Beth Siengo. And you will speak 1 minute each. I know we were supposed to have Honorable Dr. Julia Ojambo, but I am told we are running out of time. Tafadhali, one minute each. The women rep Omabe, or the woman MP Omabe, I know you are eloquent and this touches you, but 1 minute, please.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. I've not heard it. Praise the living Jesus. Amen. I want us to turn to page 38, and I will eulogize Mama Phoebe as Nyanam with verse stanza 1 only of the song Close to Thee, but I will sing it in the Luo as it is written, only stanza 1. Then I'll speak 3 things about my relationship with Mama Phoebe, and thereafter I'll take my seat. Inenge mana mochwere moloyo dutome ping e wado dutome ping ka jawarye hawath kodi kodirwoth 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 e wada dutome pinka jawarye hawath kodi. I've sung that song in honor of Mama Phoebe. I'm Joyce Atieno Sogo Bensouda, the woman representative of Homa Bay County. I am born and bred in Homa Bay Town, Kanyada, and married in Karachuonyo, where Mama Phoebe was married. I want to take this opportunity, as usual, to say that Karachuonyo are good caretakers of their wives, and that is why Mama Phoebe remained singly in the political field as a mother, an agriculturalist, and caretaker. She never had a co-wife. I want to say that Mama Phoebe contributed 80% for me being in politics and standing as the woman rep today of Homa Bay County. To summarize my story, which I can speak quietly to people in groups or as individuals, the last minute he talked to Governor Professor Nyong'o to release me from being the CCM Kisumu County to come and join the rest of politics in Homa Bay. Mama Phoebe said, I'm growing old. I want women who can fit into my shoes. She mentored me and organized for me strong 4 women rallies at grassroots. 2 in her home, 1 at Kabunde, and another one in Kisumu. She directed Honorable Millie to sit me for 3 hours. I know what we talked, and 3 things that she said we must deliver. Revive Oriang welfare, a concept that Honorable Charity Ngilu was doing in the tailoring work so that our women are empowered at grassroots. Number 2 is Oriang pottery, and number 3 at Adiedo, where we can do youth empowerment. I take this juncture to confirm that I will consult with my able Excellency Governor, Honorable Gladys Atieno Nyasuna Wanga, so that we tour these 3 places in honor of Mama Phoebe and ensure that they are revived. To the church, God bless you, and women of today, all the characteristics, all the accolades given to Mama Phoebe, we must not disappoint this nation. May the good Lord rest her soul in peace. God bless you.
Thank you, Honorable Bensouda. Where you said that there is no polygamy, the men went quiet. Honorable Senator Siengo. You will excuse us. Ordinarily, actually, we don't stand here. So it was a mistake, and I'll request others who are coming, you don't stand here. You can use this.
Thank you. To the family of Mama Asiyo, my brother Sisa, and the sisters and brothers, all protocols observed. I'm Senator Beth Siengo from Kitui County, and the ODM Women League president. I have 2 things to say about Mama. When I was elected as the ODM women leader, she was the first one to call me and told me, ODM is a national party. Please work with the women, understand them, listen to them, and work with them. And Mama frequently, after about 2 to 3 weeks, she would call me and ask me, how is the women movement in ODM? I respect and honor Mama for that. Secondly, when I joined Maendeleo ya Wanawake, because I love women movement and I love to contribute to empower women, then she was our patron, and she worked with us at the trustees of Maendeleo ya Wanawake. She told me again, my daughter, I am ready to work with you also in this. I would only request all of us, let's emulate Mama's character and our leadership qualities. Thank you very much. May our soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Apologies from Honorable Charity Ngilu. She was with us here yesterday, but she's not able to be here today. Honorable Esther Passaris, please.
God is good all the time. The church leadership, the family, fellow leaders. Wow, a trailblazer has rested. I mean, a lot has been said about Mama Dr. Honorable Phoebe Asiyo. For me, I knew her as a mom. Whenever I would meet her, throughout my journey in politics, in business, she would always say, my daughter, I know it's hard, but you have to be strong. And always remember, you're stronger than you think you are. And for me, she was so warm. I mean, I was looking at her pictures. You can see the warmth in her face. For those who had a chance to be held in her arms in an embrace, or for those who actually had a handshake from her, she would hold it so tight, and you would think, wow, how is she getting all this strength? Almost telling you, you're not alone. So I want to say to everyone that knew her, and especially the family members, you know, we never want to say goodbye, but Mom's journey is over. And she did so much in that journey. I mean, when I got my name in the Trailblazers of Kenya, I mean, for me, it was like, wow, I feel like I didn't let her down. And I think as women, it is in the shoes of our mom, Phoebe Asiyo, that we all stand. And as long as we achieve what we need to achieve for women, for gender parity, for equality, for justice, for love, for generations mixing together and appreciating each other, we will do her proud. So for me, as I stand here, my life was richer and fuller because she was in my life. May you rest in peace. May you transition well till we meet again. We love you, Mama Phoebe Asiyo. God bless.
Thank you. Let me take this opportunity to recognize the presence of Senator Beatrice Ogola, who came in after we'd started, Senator. Thank you. Let me also just say one of the things that we keep forgetting. In the United States, if there are people who are celebrated, they are called the fathers of their Constitution. Mama Phoebe Asiyo was a founding mother of our Constitution. It's a significant thing. She was a founding mother. The women movement will be alerting you to a celebration that will be done, because you can see most members want to speak, but we don't have time. We are going to do a celebration of her life. Daisy Amdanyi and our organization are doing a documentary of Mama, and Betty Orengo, First Lady Siaya, is compiling a booklet where people are giving their tribute. So if you're a woman here in the movement and you want your voice, please see Betty. And if you are not in our group, see me after this so that I add you. God bless you, and I hand over to Maurice.
Thank you, our able whip. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of former Member of Parliament, Dr. Shem Ochodo. Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa, for finding time. Daktari, why don't you stand up? You're a fit man. Thank you very much, Daktari. I think Ambassador Odembo is there as well. Elkana Asante. Oh, and former Kibra Member of Parliament, Imran Okoth. Asante sana. Thank you for finding time. Allow me to invite two very distinguished persons to speak to us before we hear from other heads of government who are here. The Republic of Kenya has 48 governments. And allow me to invite the former Chief Justice, David Maraga, who is also a member of this church, to address this congregation. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Ken. The family of our mom, sis, and your siblings, we join you to celebrate this great woman. Asiyo was an icon, a trailblazer, and a legend of our time. While we are struggling in Kenya to meet the 2/3 gender balance, in the 80s, Asiyo didn't wait for others to push her to that position. She contested in a very hotly contested election. She was elected to be a member of Parliament. I noted from Eulogise that she was not just a member of Parliament and one who was agitating for women's rights. She was also a great mentor, a job she loved and did up to the time of her death. So the family members and the entire community from Homa Bay we join you to celebrate the life of this great woman. Humble, soft-spoken, but powerful. We wish you all the best. Sister, we know you will miss her, but let all these tributes that have been made here be consolation to you and the rest of the family. Go and lay well. We meet on that resurrection morning. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, CJ. I always thought I was tall. Thank you very much. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of the former governor of Kisumu County, that is Jack Ranguma. Thank you. Please stand up, sir. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We also have Commissioner Aipoa, Ken Williams Nyakomita. Please stand up. Ken Williams. Oh, thank you, sir. It's good to put faces to some of these commissions, especially IPOA. Allow me to invite National Security Advisor, Madam Monica Juma. Welcome, please.
Thank you very much. God is good, and all the time. The family of Mama Asiyo, the church, all congregants today, family and friends, I greet you in the name of Jesus. I am here today on 3 accounts. First, to bring the condolences of His Excellency the President to the family for this great legend. But I'm also here on my own behalf as a woman that has sought and gotten inspiration from Mama Asiyo. And I also want to be here to represent all the women leaders that are not necessarily in politics, because I think in this house today, it kind of shows the breadth and depth of Mama Asiyo. We are here to celebrate a legend, and I think to the family, even as you mourn this great woman, I think you should feel very, very proud. Today, our country is richer for Mama Asiyo. Her footprints remain with us, and I think there is a lot for each and every one of us. I'm sure each one of us can give their own story. Mine is a very deep and personal one. And I'm sure everybody in this church today has a personal story, and that is how far her roots and her web goes in this country and beyond of this country. And I also want to convey many messages from outside of this country that have come to me and that I've been asked to convey today. So as Mama leaves us, I think we have a task to really extend her through ourselves, because in our journey, she reproduced herself through each one of us in different ways. And I think the task we have, the honor we must give her, is to replicate her in different ways. So each one of us, if each one of us was to produce as many disciples as this, I think our country would move forward to greater heights. For you, family, I pray for grace. As you mourn her, as you miss her, please remember you are not alone. Have solace as we let her rest, because she has done her job to this country and to humanity. So to Mama, rest, rest, rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much as well. Allow me to pass there's an apology by Honorable Amina Ugdun, who is the woman rep of Garissa County. She is not able to be with us here today. And also there is an acknowledgement of all the gospel artists who particularly will be with us at home. There is a friend of ours who coordinates them very well, Robert. Where is Robert? Nyasuna, Jadolo, just, yeah. Anytime you see gospel artists in our region, this is the man that is behind them. And we thank you that we have worshipers who help bring us closer to heaven. Without much ado, allow me to invite a trailblazer who's setting standards, redefining governance, setting the pace, and changing how things are being done. She has put Homa Bay County on the global map. Kindly, Your Excellency, Governor Gladys Nyasuna Wanga. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Baggy. To the church, our presidents of the East Kenya Union, Pastor Makori, West Kenya Union, Pastor Mesiani, to the family of Mama Asiyo, very, very distinguished leaders that are present here today. Good afternoon. You know, Mama loved to sing, so I wanted to sing a song, but now when Bensouda came, I realized my voice might not be in that kind of keyboard. But I will try, because there is a song which I will sing. In English, it's called There is Life in a Look. In Dolwe is Nitiengima. Okay. Nitiengima kwangi omsalaba, Yesu wachongi ya uru, mwandu magpinyan gima kado mwandu, mosikoni kuom Ruoth Yesu kwang'iyo nitie ngima ka wang'iyo msalaba, wana yu warruok chutho kwang'iyo your Calvary, your Calvary. I think I've made an effort. So I'm going to conduct a very brief session before I also make my tribute to Mama. So we have the Child Welfare Society here. Irene, if you're here, please just rise. Irene is from the Child Welfare Society. She's not the one. Huh? Oh, you're back there. Please just come and make one remark, because as you remember, Honorable Millie said it is Mama Phoebe who hired her own mom at the Child Welfare Society. So Irene, if you can take just half a minute. These are all my minutes which I will donate to you, half of it. Please. That's the speech. Please.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Standing on all protocols already established, my name is Irene Muridi, the CEO of Child Welfare Society of Kenya. I come to bring my personal condolences and the condolences of the child welfare trustees and the children. Mama loved children, and for us, we are celebrating a life well lived. Mama Phoebe Asiyo was appointed in Child Welfare Society of Kenya in 1969, and she worked at Child Welfare Society of Kenya from 1969 to 1980. She left Child Welfare Society. She left Child Welfare Society of Kenya when she went to Homa Bay for her seat in Karachuonyo, where now she vied for the Member of Parliament. And she left great impact in child welfare. At Child Welfare Society of Kenya, she took care of children across the nation. In many of the facilities that you see across this nation in Kenya, when you see Mama Ngina Children's Home, it is where it is because of Mama Phoebe Asiyo. When you see even Mama Ngina Children's Home in Kisumu, that is our work. When you see Muji wa Salama in Mombasa, Mama Phoebe took care of children in that whole coastal region. And when you see Kandui Children's Home in the Western, that is her work. She actually built Kandui Children's Home from the scratch. She also built Kisii Children's Home, which is in Nyanza and was taking care of that region. And she took care of children in that region. We have also Arap Moi Children's Home in Nakuru. Mama Phoebe Asiyo took care of the children from there. And all over this country, Mama Phoebe impact was felt. She took care of children. She opened her arms and her hands, and she gave our children who had no father, many of them no mother. When we were coming from a very critical period, she came to child welfare just when we were a young nation. And because we are a young nation, the country was suffering. Many children were orphaned in this nation. Many children didn't have school fees. Others didn't have food. And across the nation, you'll see her impact across this nation. She educated, she raised, she fed, she gave shelter to children across this nation. And her impact is felt even at family level. She gave many children a family across this nation. We remember her. She was a meticulous record keeper, a meticulous and articulate record keeper. She mentored us. And even myself, when I came to the office, she came to see me and she told me, Irene, we are going to have child welfare fund increased, and I'm going to approach the president. She approached President Kibaki, the late President Kibaki, on behalf of the children of this nation for increase of child welfare funding. And in 2010, that was effected. That was her work. We are celebrating Mama Phoebe across this nation because she loved us, she loved the children. When you see adoption in this country, she is the one who laid the ground. Adoption, she professionalized adoption, she professionalized putting children in families. So her impact is felt, and us as Child Welfare Society of Kenya and the whole sector of children, we are going to miss her, and we tell her, Mama, we love you so much, and fare thee well. You have left a big impact to us all. We are carrying on your flag. Every stone you laid, we are stepping on your stone, and your work is going on. The impact of children in this country is felt everywhere, and your professionalism, we are feeling it, and we are carrying on. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Madam Irene, and you have really done well in the summary of the speech. Thank you very, very much. Honorable Millie gave me a few of the members whose apologies she has. Honorable Adipo Okome, Member of Parliament for Karachuonyo, who was here last night but has to go home to receive Mama tomorrow. Senator Catherine Muma, and Honorable Ruth Odinga, the MP, County MP for Kisumu. Allow me to invite the First Lady of Siaya County, Betty, to please just come and make a few remarks. Your Excellency, karibu.
Thank you, Governor. To the church and to the family of Mama Phoebe Asiyo, please accept our deepest condolences from myself and from James Orengo. Mama Phoebe was many things to all of us. But one thing is that we all felt really special. We thought we were her special one. Every time she spoke to any of us, she had this manner in her that was at once comforting, but also always ready to offer advice and guidance. I was very privileged to work closely with Mama in the run-up to the 2013 general election, alongside the team of eminent personalities, including Rahab, Mama Zippy, and other prominent, eminent Kenyans, when we went on a mission across Kenya and to the Africa Union and to many other countries in our region that were working towards ensuring that we had a peaceful election. Mama was a peace builder, a bridge builder, a collaborator, and she allowed us to shine in everything that she did. She led with courage and grace. We love her and we will miss her. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency Betty Orengo. I'd like to also now invite the First Lady of Kisumu, Her Excellency Dorothy Nyong'o, to also just make it as brief as Mama Betty. We're doing very well. Karibu.
Good morning, Church. Through the church leadership, all protocols observed. Thank you, Governor. To Caesar Asiyo and the entire Asiyo family, I want to say poleni sana on my behalf and on behalf of Governor Nyong'o. As we celebrate the life of Mama Phoebe Asiyo today, I remember Mama Phoebe held me close. She was literally like a mother to me. I remember one day she told me, before my mother-in-law, Mama Dorka Nyong'o, died, she told me that she was in maendeleo ya wanawake with my mother-in-law. And she really praised my mother-in-law for the work that she had done through maendeleo ya wanawake. They laid the foundation for women's empowerment and leadership. Several people have attested to that. Mama Phoebe Asiyo set the pace for us, and she held us together as women. Everybody feels special in the eyes of Mama Phoebe Asiyo. She created the space to empower all of us, and she has mentored thousands of women. She shared everything. She shared her networks, and today I can say that Mama Phoebe has died empty. I remember how the Caucus for Women's Leadership, which she founded, gave us the opportunity to attend the UN Commission on the Status of Women for several years. She attended the meetings, and she always caucused us and guided us on all the salient matters that required our attention. She checked on us, she called us, she encouraged us, always. This was a dynamic woman, a friendly, happy, warm, positive, caring, and very supportive leader. We will surely miss Mama Phoebe Asiyo, and her shoes will be very hard to walk in. May we be guided by her spirit and her values, and may her soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. And now I'd like to invite a child of the women's movement, the first woman governor of Embu County, Her Excellency Cecily Mbarire, and also the chair of the ruling party, UDA, Kavinda Nigaka. Karibu sana, Governor.
Thank you very much. All protocols observed. God is good, and all the time. To the family of Mama Phoebe, Caesar, your siblings, all the relatives, I'm here on my own behalf and on behalf of the people of Embu and the ruling party to say pole for the loss of your mom. Mama Phoebe Asiyo is known to any woman who's been in politics in Kenya. She's a very big person, just in case you didn't know, but she was also the most humble and graceful woman leader I ever knew. We were talking with Gladys just now, and when the MP for Karachuonyo was speaking, she said that Mama Phoebe was very soft-spoken, yet very forceful, and she managed to get her things done and her agenda taken in. Then I told Gladys, maybe that's the only thing we never managed to get from her, because some of us are very loud. But then we also agreed in the modern day politics, being loud has its place, because if you have to face somebody like Sifuna, it is not easy. Or even Senator Kajwang, you have to be loud sometimes to be heard. But all the same, she accepted us the way we were, and she mentored each one of us. Personally, I knew Mama Phoebe Asiyo when I was a little girl in primary school. And the reason I knew her is because my late father was a member of parliament with her. And I don't know what my father saw in me then, but I believe he knew why he kept telling me this. He kept telling me, I want you to be like Phoebe Asiyo. I want you to be like Inda Gashukia. Those are the two women MPs that he talked about that time. And you'd make me read newspapers for him while standing to see whether I can speak like a leader. And you tell me when you're reading, don't look down all the time. You must look at the people you're talking to. And little did I know that he actually wanted me to be a woman leader. And so the first time I met Mama Phoebe, I told her that story. And I told her, I want to be like you. And in 1997, I watched her live in Parliament as she moved the affirmative action motion. All women movement, young and old, we were mobilized by Professor Wanjiku Kabira and told, let's go and watch this historic moment, this historic motion. What Professor didn't tell us is that Parliament then, you could not enter Parliament, whether you're a member of Parliament or you're a visitor at the public gallery, you couldn't enter there in trousers. And so myself and Millie were quick to go there wearing our jeans. And the sergeant at times said, Nyinyi hamwezi ingia mkiwa hivyo. He said, why? And went up there at the public gallery.
But I'll never forget what a profound moment that was for me personally. I watched her moving that motion, talking with grace, powerful. And I told myself from up there, the speaker's gallery, one day, I'm gonna stand in that, down there, like this woman. And that is the amount of influence Mama Phoebe had on all of us. And so, when we joined politics, one day we were talking, I remember it was around the NAC time, and I was telling her how tough it is being in the field campaigning as a woman, and for that matter, a young woman, and you have to face some very rough men who tell you very hard things. And in politics, the female politicians will tell you the way they bring us down is to focus on the neck downwards. Rarely do they focus on the neck upwards. And so I explained to Mama Phoebe some of the challenges I had faced. And she told me a story, which I beg you allow me to say it because that story gave me strength. She told me, you know, when I was campaigning one time, and we had this big rally, and there were all those days they used to campaign together. So if you are all running for MP in a particular constituency, the rallies were jointly done, you can imagine. So Mama Phoebe is there with her opponents, and I'm told she had a very tough one. And as she's speaking, some foolish man, you'll understand why I'll call him foolish, had a stick with some female paraphernalia, and he shouts from the back, wewe, hii uliacha kwangu. And Mama Phoebe, in her grace, instead of losing it like I would have done, or Millie or Gladys, and going for the man, she said, don't worry, please keep it. I'll pick it in the evening when I come back. That was Mama Phoebe Asiyo. Graceful, even in the moment when you think you can pull her down, she'll rise above you. Now, if it was me, or even Millie here, angekipata, but look at how gracefully she dealt with that moment. And I think that's a lesson for all of us female politicians. When they want to pull you down, using your femininity, you show them how that doesn't matter. Throw it back at them in a soft way. And I think those are the lessons we are learning today. So I'm here to celebrate a great woman. A woman who has walked the walk with all other great women in the movement. A woman who's made me stand here as a governor of Embu County because I started as a beneficiary of affirmative action. I was a nominated member of parliament. Millie here was a nominated member of parliament. Gladys Wanga there started as a women rep, which is an affirmative action seat. I've seen MP Naisula Lesuda from Samburu. She started as a nominated member senator. She's now two-term member of parliament. We have Mother Wangari. She started as a nominated senator. She's now doing her second term as a member of Gilgil constituency. We owe it to this great and amazing woman. And for sure, her impact on all of us and those that come after us will live forever in this country. When we write our books, when we write our memoirs, she'll have a place in our books, a good place, because that's who she was, an impactful woman who, despite mentoring all of us, seeing us rise to the top, she remained graceful and very humble. May the soul of Mama Phoebe Asiyo truly rest in eternal peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Governor Sess. Pastor Misiani will pray over all the paraphernalia and everything that comes with it. I think it's a bit too high. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So I'll just say also my tribute, one or two things over Mama. And we, who are women leaders in this country, but particularly the women leaders who have come up within Homa Bay and our region, we literally stand on the shoulders of Mama Phoebe Asiyo, literally. Because as you walk and campaign, you say that look at what Mama Phoebe Asiyo did for Karachuonyo. If you elect me as a woman here in Suba North, or here in Kabondo Kasipul, or here in Rangwe, or as governor, or as woman rep, I will do the same. And that is why our Senator Kajwang was talking about that closing of numbers within our county of Homa Bay. 6 versus 6. We are at 50-50. Exactly what Mama wanted for affirmative action. And apart from that, it is not just women. Women are opaso here. They are women of quality. And I think Senator alluded to that. Because, you know, when you start counting the women in Homa Bay, Honorable Dr. Ivo Bara, Honorable Dr. Bensouda, Honorable Senator Dr. Beatrice Ogola, Honorable Dr. Lillian Gogo. The least educated are the loudest, which is which is me and Millie, who have now been sent back to school. So we are reading as we speak. So we will be having Dr. Millie very soon and Dr. Wanga. Then when you come to the men, Moses Kajwang, Martino Wino, Adipo Kuome. I'm telling you, Peter Kaluma, I mean, if I were to add Edwin Sifuna, I mean, we are just passing here like this. So, that is how it's going. And therefore, we have been well held and well trained by Mama. And she didn't leave it just in the political realm. I think it was about 5 years ago that we were sending off Baba, Richard. And she taught us that as women leaders, we also had the responsibility, to keep our houses, our homes, our families, and how to just, in the power that we could have from public office, still retain the humility to be wives and mothers within our homes, something that she perfected so well. And when she gave that tribute to Baba, I mean, it was a big challenge to many of us who are women in politics as to how to navigate a very complex area, So when I came and I wanted to be the woman rep for Homa Bay, and I went to Mama Phoebe, my father was a politician, and many people know him or knew him. But my mother, very few people knew. And I relate to what Millie said about her mom. And when I went to see Mama Phoebe, because they had been in politics with my father, but she had gone on to know my mom, she told me, when I explained to her, I'm daughter of Joanna Nyasuna, she told me, oh, you are the daughter of Grace. And that for me was profound. And so, I mean, I held it very, very close because very, very few people knew that the strong force also besides my father was my mom, who many people didn't know, didn't talk about. Later on, I was to run for governor, and she held my hand, and she spoke for me, and she vouched for me, and talked to the party structures, and said that we needed, and it was time to have a woman governor in the region. And when I won, she was not well then, because I think she was a bit unwell. But at my inauguration, despite how that is just usually so, crowded, she came. She came. Her voice was a little frail, but she came and she spoke some very, very profound words. She said, "We are very grateful that you have been elected governor. And I want to tell you, you're going to do great things and things that have never been seen for our people." And then she turned to the people and said, "Joturwa asingonu, my people, I promise you." She made very few remarks. I think that was perhaps the last public function that she attended in Homa Bay. She promised the people of Homa Bay that we were going to do things that had never been done or seen within Homa Bay before. I think she was making a prophecy. And I can say that, we have tried to keep to that prophecy. And Homa Bay, is spoken about now. We say we are Homa Bay people, and Amadi, I can see you, we are Homa Bay people, and it's a great thing. And I am happy that we are able to make Mama proud for having stood by us and stood with us. And so we saw her last year in New York, in North Carolina. When we were in New York for CSW, we took time off with Rosa, Honorable Rosa Buyu, Honorable Ivo Bara, and went to North Carolina to see her. And she was very, very clear in her mind. And I wanted to be like that when I'm 90. I wanted to be able to just say, she was sitting there and introducing us to her pastor in North Carolina and saying, "This is Rosa Boyuk, MP for Kisumu West. This is Ivo Bara, MP for Kabondo Kasipul." Many people in their 30s, they call Obara's constituency, they call it Kasipul, Kabondo, I don't know, they confuse it. She wasn't confusing, she wasn't stuttering, she wasn't saying, no. She was very, very, very clear-minded, and I'm glad that we were able to spend time with her for her advice, and that she walked the journey, and so I think as women leaders, to make Mama proud, we must hold hands of more. We must bring on board more women into these positions. We were G7, we are still G7, but we are -1. Now we are not changing the name unless it's moving upwards. So we promised ourselves that we cannot be G6. We can only be G8, Sifuna, or G20. You said you are the he for she. So the only thing I was afraid you're saying about resignation, and now you are the champion for women. So I was wondering, now what is going to happen? But we want to go to G24. We want to have members of the National Assembly. We want to have MCAs elected. We want to take all these positions so that we make Mama proud where she is. But that doesn't just happen. We realize that it happened in the past for holding of hands, mentorship, platforms where every person can hold another 2, another 3, another 4. And me also, as the national chairwoman of the largest party south of Sahara and north of River Limpopo, the ODM party, I think it is my responsibility also to join hands with my SG to ensure that as many women as possible are elected. Honorable Mishi Mboko, I see you there. I think you didn't come just stand up and wave. Asante Sana, that's a child of the women's movement. Ametembea Sana. I want to finish at that because Pastor Mesiani said at 1:45 he wanted to start preaching, and I think it's only 1 minute to 1:45. To 2, yeah. So it's only, in fact, I've saved just 1 minute, Pastor Mesiani, so that you start at 1:45 to 2. Asanteni sana and God bless you, and I'd like to welcome you to come to Homa Bay. And I was forgetting to bring the greetings because I was given greetings of my party leader, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, Mama Dr. Ida Odinga, His Excellency the President. His greetings had already been brought, but we want to thank them immensely because when we had a function for fundraising yesterday, they came through for us in a big way, and we also thank His Excellency because when Maendeleo ya Wanawake, Mama Zipora, wrote to him to make this funeral a state burial, he agreed to make it a state burial so that we send off our heroine in the manner that she deserves. God bless you. Asanteni na karibuni Wikondiek in Karachuonyo.
Well, thank you, Your Excellency. Allow me to pass a disclaimer that following what Governor has said, I am not Maurice Ochieng, I am Dr. Maurice Ochieng. Moving forward, please address me properly. We have in our midst one of the most decorated, highly disciplined soldiers in the Republic of Kenya, General